Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this episode before we get started. I want to take this time to thank you guys so much for all the love and support of the show. I truly appreciate it. And of course, thank you to Rogue Media Network with Mike Hamilton and Allison Robles for making all my episodes super snackish. And real quick, shout out, because as of the recording of this episode, it's been about a week or two. I won Podcast of the Year at the Waco Awards. Thank you guys for voting for me. I thought that was pretty lit because I didn't really ask anybody to vote for me. So, but thank you guys for doing that. That was pretty cool. I felt like that was like a really great accomplishment. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, to the city and everybody who voted, it means the world. So thank you guys so much. Before we get started, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of the show. This episode is brought to you by Four Brothers Construction with my boy Joe Olvera. He provides custom home designs and renovations. He also focuses on roofing, remodeling, plumbing, tree removal, electrical work, and so much more. You can call the number on the screen for all those services. Him and his whole entire team of snacks are going to make your home look super snackish. Four Brothers Construction has been a longtime sponsor of The Public Affair, and I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Of course, to B&J Refinishing with my boy Frank Biza. He focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. Offers 5-year warranty on most work and has the best prices in town. And we all know that Frank Biza doesn't stop there because he's an entrepreneur. He also has Codetown Tint, which is a mobile tint and detailing business that offers the best high quality film and products and will be all competitor prices. You can also contact Frank for inflatables like a mechanical bull, margarita machine, tables, chairs, a foam machine, and so much more, making all your parties super litty kitty. Frank is the go. I love that guy. Thank you so much for being a longtime sponsor of The Public Affair. Of course, to David Santabanez, the #1 sales agent at Alinea Real Estate. He'll help you buy a home or sell your home. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea, or call that number on the screen, darling, for all your real estate needs. David stays selling properties, and I love seeing that guy win. Every time I log onto Facebook, he sold something. and we're going to get back to looking for my dream chateau. I can't wait. David's the only person I want to work with. I love him, love him, love him. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Anika Armstrong at Pee-wee's Crab Cakes on the Go in Hewitt, Texas. Delicious if you haven't tried it. Serving the most authentic Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. The top recommended is the Southern Fried Catfish Special. Served with seafood, pasta, and potato salad, and 6 fried shrimp. Fish is topped with Houdat sauce, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because you got to go to 108 Jim Drive in Hewitt or order online at orderpeeweescrabcakesonthego.com. And side note too, their Taco Tuesday special with those Hennessy wings, if I said it right, they're to die for. I love them. Anika, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Marcos Cordero with Midway Nutrition. He's located on Hewitt Drive. He offers meal replacement shakes with tons of different flavors. So every time I go to the gym, I'm done with the gym in the morning, I'm a little bloated. I love getting me a meal replacement shake at Midway Nutrition. He's also been a long time sponsor. My favorite, of course, is the Honey Nut Cheerio, which is really good if you've never tried it. It's absolutely delicious. Shout out to my boy Marcos Cordero with Midway Nutrition, doing it on his own. I love it. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, to Rosalinda's Insurance with Rosalinda Perez. You can contact her for all insurance needs, including auto, life, home, everything, darling. She also helps with notary services, which when you least expect it, you need it. Okay? Make sure you contact her on the number on the screen. Y se habla español. Rosalinda, muchas gracias for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Thank you so, so much. Okay, guys, so like I said, I've been really excited about having this guest. When I asked him to do it, he was so in. It's kind of been a long time coming. I was actually referred to him shortly after I started The Public Affair a year and a half ago. And I don't know why it took so long for me to invite. I'm sorry, but he's here now. We got to work with each other this past weekend at Amplified Entertainment's event, the Ugly Christmas Sweater Party at at halftime. And it was such a blast working with him and everybody over there. But without further ado, I'm so excited to announce that Trevor Lamb is on this episode of The Public Affair. How you doing?
Man, thank you for having me.
Thank you. No, can I call you Evo? Or do you even go by that anymore? Or is that a thing?
Most people around Waco call me Evo, so it still sticks. But yeah, I mean, on the video side, it's just Trevor. I feel like
Evo is like, it's like hotter. It's like porn. It's like porn name.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and then Brooke, your girlfriend was here. Yeah. I'm hoping she's gonna bring us some wine. She said she's going across the street to the wine store.
Maybe we'll see what happens.
No, I'm down for it. I need a nice glass of Merlot. I did that over the weekend. Anyway, but that's why I was dancing on those tables and chairs on Snapchat. At halftime, and then we had the event the next day.
That's crazy.
But thank you so much for finally coming. You know, shortly after I started, I'm gonna let you know I'm really good friends with the Bradfords.
Okay, yeah, man.
And I remember them sliding in the DMs like, you got to get Evo. And there were several other people too that said Evo.
That's dope.
You know, you were talking to me outside about like if you felt like it was more music driven in the beginning, which it wasn't. You know what? Like, fun fact, and I wanted to say this on the show. When I first was like doing the public affair, like brainstorming, I was gonna do all musicians, rappers, whatever. But like there were several podcasts like already kind of doing that.
Right.
So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something different, invite all kinds of walk of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I got everything from the pastor to the girl who takes her clothes off on the internet. And this is so great.
I saw that.
You know? So and now I have Evo. So thank you for coming on. I truly appreciate it.
Man, thanks for having me. And you got that award. So I got to congratulate you on that. I don't know if you talked about that yet on your other ones. I know you got some in the bank.
This is the first episode that I've recorded since winning the award. So like
awesome,
I said, I record so in advance.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, like by the time I recorded all the other episodes prior to you, we had not known the results just yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why I said I really wanted to take the opportunity because, you know, we're really supposed to go on there and like, oh, vote for me, like, you know, kind of encourage everybody to vote for you. And I wanted to see, like, I didn't want to do that. Like, I acknowledged it when I got nominated. You know
so you just kind of like put your hands on and said, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Man. Yeah. Now, of course, I had to thank everybody for nominating me.
Yeah,
because I didn't want that to go unnoticed. So I did that. And then I said, I'm not going to like post the link or anything. I kind of did it on purpose because I was like, if the podcast is making as much noise as everybody says it is, then I'll win based off of that. But if not, I just got to work harder next year.
Well,
you know,
it definitely has to feel more deserving that way. So.
It does. And that's why it was such a cool feeling. And that's why everybody's so fucking lit that voted for me. Thank y'all. That
Absolutely,
was cool,
man.
You know, yeah. Now I missed the event, obviously.
Oh, like, damn.
No, I had. I had recorded like 3 episodes that day, and then the soccer team that I sponsor won a championship.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I missed.
You were...
They called my name, and everybody was messaging me like, Andrew, oh my God, you won the podcast of the year.
That's crazy.
That was so embarrassing, and I was like, oh shit, I couldn't make it, so I made it to the second half.
Oh, okay.
But you know, cool. Like everybody was dressed up head to toe, and I you know, just wore
that's how you pulled
jeans and a jacket.
Casual.
Yeah, casual.
You know what time it is.
Anyway, but thank you for that. I appreciate it, and thank you to everybody who voted. I really do appreciate it. Yeah.
Very cool.
So I want to talk a little bit about how we met or how I got to know you. Okay. Cool. Before we get to introduce yourself.
Right.
So like I said, the Bradfords kind of referred me to you and a bunch of other people. Joey Sais, who before I started the public affair, I still am a huge fan of. Like
Joey's my guy.
Oh, isn't he great?
No,
the singer,
awesome.
episode 5. Remember, Mike, when I had Joey Sais, okay, on the show,
sure.
and I was fatter and I was like fucking like sweating.
I wouldn't know that.
No,
it wasn't terrible.
It was because I was nervous because I treated him like a singer that's some Grammy-nominated, award-winning artist that is like an enigma. Because and when he came on the show and he sang on here, and I almost started crying. It was so great. You have a song with him called Fire. And it's featuring Evo. Yes. And I re-listened to it yesterday, and I was like, God, why didn't I have him on?
Joey and I have this thing where like we both can kind of create everything in our own space. So, like I have my own studio, he has his own studio, and so I have like 3 songs, sadly, that have insane licks by him that I just never put out yet. And there's kind of a reason for that, but mostly just Joey, like we kind of do that. He'll hit me up like, "Hey, we hop on a verse." I'm like, "Will you hit a lick?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll do that for sure." So
when you say hit a lick, you're talking about like
okay,
got you.
Not the other way.
I'm thinking about
no, you straight.
I don't hit licks. That's gross. And so
that's my guy.
You had some music, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. But you were a rapper, which you said that you've kind of taken a break from.
Yes,
which we're gonna touch on because I have questions.
Oh,
I listened to some of the music, and you're very talented. I will say that.
Thank you.
And then of course we got to reconnect, like I said earlier. This weekend at the Amplified Entertainment Cross Public Affair. They asked me to host and at the Ugly Sweater Christmas Party, which was really fun. It was such a good time. I asked Evo to take pictures of me, remember?
I got them and they're edited.
I need to see them. Okay.
I haven't sent them to you yet, but
I need to see them, please. Because remember, I was doing poses and he was like, damn, you're a natural. I was like, I've been on the camera.
I didn't have to tell you anything. You hit every direction, the eyes, everything. I was like, okay, he knows what time it is.
Let's do a photo shoot because, this picture is just not doing it. I mean, shout out to Lindsay. Shout out to Lindsay Washman who did my first show.
That's a great picture.
I think she's been, it's a great picture, but I was also almost 300 pounds. So we need a different one.
Right, I got you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but enough about all that. Why don't you introduce yourself to us? Why don't you talk to us a little bit about who you are, life growing up, where you're from, and all that, please?
Okay, so I'm Trevor. I come from China Spring. I grew up here my entire life, so Waco's my stomping ground. I used to do music a long time ago. I kind of got away from doing that, and just in a long story short, started doing video for a living.
Right.
Had no idea that would take off in the way that it has, and so now I just kind of live my life
Okay.
doing videos for them.
So you grew up in, you're from China Spring, but did you grow up in, like, where'd you go to high school? Did you go to China Spring?
Yeah,
High
China
school?
Spring, China Spring.
Oh, China Springs.
Yeah, all the way
Okay.
up until I graduated 09.
Uh-huh.
And then I just haven't left.
Okay. Oh, so you did, so what are you, at 30?
Yeah, I'm 30.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
I graduated in 09 as well.
Bet. Okay, cool.
Our freaking ages are showing now. You know what I mean? Like my hair, like I was watching an episode of the show. I can't remember if it's the last one or what. And I was like, man, I'm going bald. You know what I mean?
I think I feel it
we
in
gotta try and like.
I'm feeling it in my back.
Really?
It could be because when I film, I'm always like bent over trying to like get angles and stuff like that. But
you know, I was gonna say, like at the event, you sure were doing a lot of videography, which I guess you were hired to do.
Yeah.
And you did seem a little slouched over. I don't know if it's because he's very tall in person. You know what I mean?
6'6".
6'6", yeah. And so you're just like this kind
it
of.
hurts,
like,
man. You gotta like
hurt,
sit there and be still and not shake.
Right.
And
when I was a big ass, my back used to hurt too, but now I work out, so it doesn't. Yeah,
I need to work out.
Now I can do more like positions in bed. It's really great.
Shit.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I'll teach you how to put your legs behind your head later. Anyway,
no shot. These legs would never fold. These are way too long.
No, you'll be all right. How was life for you growing up, Trevor? I mean, was it pretty like good for you?
Yeah. Life was good. It was kind of weird. I was a big outcast in school. Like,
really?
Straight up. I never really came into myself until I graduated and kind of found my image and my vibe.
Okay.
So it took a long time to get to that. And growing up, like I wouldn't say we were like rich, but people are going to counter that statement when I say this. I used to own a golf course when I was a kid.
Oh, that doesn't sound rich at all.
No.
Okay.
But it was hard work. Like me, my mom, my dad, we'd be out there mowing like, lawns like 3 a.m, like going down the fairways and stuff. But like the terrible part was where my golf course was, or our golf course, it was centralized in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So every kid that would vandalize and drive golf carts in the water.
Yeah.
And then, if they got caught up, they get in trouble. That came back to me in school.
Oh, really?
So that was always like a weird thing growing up. But yeah.
like when you say it came back to you in school, like were they like, oh, like bullying you in a way?
Like your dad got us in trouble. Like, this is
well, why were you being a fucking fucktard?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I've always been tall. And so I think like right now I'm sitting at like 175. That's like the best I can get.
Damn, I wish.
When I was a kid, man, I would have I'd have like 3 shirts on in school trying to like
were you trying
bulk
to
up and
like
look bigger? Yeah, because I was just so like I had no confidence,
right.
man. And they would rip me for it.
I was just talking to a friend of mine about that because he's about your build as well. He's like super tall and like a little. He's skinny, and I just got down to the 230s. when I started the show, I was almost 300, and so
is that hard to lose that much weight?
Yes.
Is it? Cause I mean, I don't know anything. I can't gain it, so I gotta imagine it's just as hard to lose it.
It's difficult, but it's worth it. Like I always said, I had the gym guy on here, Dominic with Soko, and we talked about it. And I said, you try all these different things. You try the tees, and you try the wraps, and you try all this shit, and you really just got to go work out.
That's what it boils down to: hard work. And
it's
just getting it done.
You have to go work out. There is no like it work.
Yeah, for sure.
But and so there's none of that like extra stuff.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's all about just hard work and maintaining it and your diet too. Like you have to watch.
I know
what you eat.
that's even big with like calories and get like counting them and getting.
Well, I will say that I really don't do I don't count my calories per se or my carbs. Well, kind of like I really watch what I eat and how much I consume in the day. And then there's just things like fast food that I just do not eat, like McDonald's and Burger King and all that stuff. But I mean, I love like McAllister's, and you can't never take my Chinese food away from me. Fuck that.
Yeah. I eat like a literal 5-year-old: pizza, tacos, spaghetti,
and then you don't gain nothing, right?
No.
Yeah, and that's what my friend and I were talking about because he goes, man, some of us want to gain weight.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
Like you want to lose it. And it's like in our cross minds, like no fucking way. You know what I mean?
I've been told that I'd have to work out and eat more to gain any weight.
Okay.
Like it can't just be eat trash because that's just not how my bill's gonna work.
You got to eat protein. You gotta eat chicken
and I feel like
protein.
everything I eat's like processed and terrible, which is probably why my back hurts half the time.
Okay. Well, you can get some protein powder. I make some really good shakes. I'll give you the ingredients.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's really good. I want to talk a little bit about what you do, Trevor.
Okay,
So I feel like you wear a number of hats. When I was kind of introduced to you before we got to meet in person, you were a rapper. Now you're like a videographer. You're a photographer. You just told me that you got back on tour. What is your occupation?
So right now, motion theory media is my baby. That's I started that with a friend of mine, and we kind of went our separate ways. So now that's me. That's my baby. And then I film for a living. It's my 9 to 5. I don't have anything else.
Right.
And in conjunction with that, I work with a guy named Trenton Johnston from 613 Media.
Okay.
And so we kind of collab on stuff. He's in Fort Worth. I'm in Waco. So it kind of works out, meeting in the middle and stuff like that. Right. So yeah.
When you said that and the prior relationship, it didn't work out. Was it just business differences?
No, so weird, man. I'll touch on it real quick.
Yeah.
It was my homie Grant. He was grandmother was ill. And so he moved back from, I think it was LA or Arizona. He moved back to take care of her. And when he got there to take care of her, she passed away shortly after.
Oh, no.
And then he had nowhere else to go because there was kind of like a, you know, when people die, the real estate, the family, and he was like, I'm kind of stuck here now because I just came back with all my stuff. So I was like, man, I just got out of something crazy. I had just filed for divorce. I had just walked out on a job. And so I had this condo and I was like, I could use some help.
Right.
So Grant moved in and we actually didn't do any work. It was just a bunch of money that I had saved up from the previous job.
Right.
And we were just going out every single night.
Oh, wow. Just partying.
Yeah, just like, you know,
sex, drugs, and alcohol.
Going through it. And then one day Grant was like, man, you're way too talented to be doing this. Like, I can't see you on the floor anymore. It's time to get up.
Oh, wow.
So homie got me up, took me to Nymphas. We were like drawing ideas and stuff. And then fast forward, kind of skipping the in-between there, what happened. This is so weird. I don't know if anybody watching this ever been through this, and we're good now. Like, we're straight. Like, call each other literally every day.
Yeah.
But it came down to I had to make a move, and so I actually couldn't afford the condo. Money ran out, and even though Motion Theory was picking up some steam, it wasn't enough to float both of us.
Right.
So I basically told him, I was like, you got to go.
Oh.
And that was really weird because it was like, this man is the one that kind of got me into this position. Right. And the reason he had to go was I have a 7-year-old at the time. I think he was like 5.
Oh, wow.
And I basically was like, I'm going to sell everything. Everything's gone. I'm buying an RV. And I literally parked it on some land.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And just started grinding.
Is that what you're doing now? You still in the RV?
I'm out the RV, thank God.
Yeah.
When I say land, it was straight up in like a middle of a field. Yeah. And when it rained, like that whole ice storm we had.
Yeah, it's terrible. Listen, I just want to say per experience, and I don't know, I'm not going to share why I know the experience, but living in an RV, no. They're cute to have. Like if I go camping, I would love to have one. Living, not at all. Okay.
It was the right move as far as investment because living in something like that let me put all the money I was making right back into the equipment I needed. So that's why I did it.
Yeah, that's good for sure. I mean, it was a smart move, like you said.
Yeah, for sure.
Were you a rapper before you started doing the videography and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the rapping, and the music, because I mean, you sent me some songs yesterday. Yeah. Of course, I listened to the if I said it wrong, Evo XO.
Yeah.
Okay, like 100 times because a lot of the music that I listened to, and maybe it was just the handful that I listened to, sound like had a dark undertone to it. Yeah, sounded like you were going through some shit.
Yeah, that's generally. So the reason I haven't done music anymore is because I'm happy. Okay. And it's so weird because like my dark times is where the art comes. Okay. And now that I'm happy, I have nothing to say. Really? Because like life is going the way it's supposed to have been this whole time. Okay. So music for me, it's hard to be positive about it. That it was just more of a thing for me to kind of just go through it and get it out of my system.
Yeah, because I remember you telling me over the phone that you used it more as like a therapeutic or like coping mechanism. Yes. And so can you share some of like the dark shit that you were going through? Because like I said, those lyrics are dark. You know what I mean? I was like,
I'll touch on it a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
We just want to know. I think it translates well because somebody that's watching it's going to relate. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So long story short, I was married. We had a kid. And he's taken care of, well, blessed. Right. Amazing little boy, growing up fast. And we kind of just, things were rocky the whole way through. And I finally kind of just said, I'm out. Like, I can't do this anymore. Right. And when we split, I think the music kind of took a dive. And a lot of the reasons I haven't released, I have probably 1,500 songs. Right. Oh. I just didn't drop them anymore because I don't want to put that back out into the world. Like, I've gotten over all these things, so now it's time to move on with my life. And I got my new girlfriend Brooke. She's amazing. She's that girl. Literally, when I was living in that RV, when I didn't have a shower out there, so she would have to bring over buckets of water and dump it on me so I could get clean. Oh, wow. Like when I tell you I was like invested in this, I was invested. Oh, wow. So I didn't want to put anything else out to disrespect her anymore because like that part of my life is done. Gotcha. So yeah, a lot of that was just relationships as we all go through, and that was me kind of just running through it. So got you. Well, I definitely want to talk a little bit more about the quitting music and everything, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, I have more questions about the music. We're going to talk about the tour that you just came back from, and a lot more. So we'll be right back, guys, after these messages. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this episode of The Public Affair. We wanted to take a quick break to give a shout out to a few more of our sponsors of the show. This episode is brought to you by Elite Barbershop with my boy Sid Rodriguez. He's located on Hewitt Drive. You can download the Cut app or call the number on the screen to book. He also has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, D-Rod, David Rodriguez, and Isaac over there making you look super snackish. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of the show. Of course, the Banda's hauling service with Julian and Ana Banda. They rent dump trailers, you fill it up, and they haul it away. They also do junk removals
removals and tree brush removals and haul cars in and out of town. I should have called them when we drove my car to Las Vegas because that was the longest drive ever. Book now on the number on the screen. Julian and Ana Banda with Banda's Hauling Service. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. To one of my new sponsors, Jesus Gonzalez with Brother Concrete Construction. He specializes in concrete work like slabs, driveways, pool decks, patios, sidewalks, and more. He has beautiful work. I got to see it firsthand. He invited me to his home, showed me the work, and it is gorgeous. Jesus, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Make sure you guys call him on the number on the screen for your free estimate. He's got you covered. Jesus, thank you again so much. And of course, to another one of my new sponsors, Fat Boys Tacos with Demi Aviles. He makes tacos for yourself or for an event like quinceañeras, wedding, whatever you want. You can order your favorite chicken or pastor tacos or their specialty brisket tacos or the hot mama taco, which is a grilled jalapeno taco stuffed with your choice of meat and cheese. Now, I'm not a really big biscuit person, but that's because I've never had it on a taco like they make it, and it was delicious. I rolled around in it. Make sure you guys call the number on the screen to order your next tacos or follow them on Facebook at Fat Boys Tacos. Demi Aviles, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Thank you to all the sponsors. Let's get back to this episode. All right, guys, welcome back. So as we were talking about before the break, Trevor and I were just talking about his music career, a lot of the dark undertone in your rapping and the reason why you quit. You were just mentioning to me that your girlfriend would come with buckets of water while you were at the, I mean, I have questions about that. So like, were you outside and nobody could see you? Or
yeah. So we parked it on a literal field, middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And that's the only way I could make this business work again. And so we would go to this is kind of when Corona hit, those places where you could fill up water?
Yeah.
We went and bought a tub of water, filled it up, and we would just dump it and use it as a shower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine like doing something like, I mean, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Yeah.
Weird coming from owning the house in China Spring, like a model home, and then getting down to this point in life,
Like
and then having to
RV.
climb back up. It was just so weird.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I mean, you don't have to touch on this if you want to, but I really kind of want you.
Yeah, for sure.
In regards to the dark times and everything, and then you said that you guys were partying a lot, you had a lot of money saved up. Was a lot of it influenced by, like, I mean, were you using drugs and stuff like that? Or?
No, I'm terrible with drugs. Like any type of I can basically drink and that's all I can do. Weed is like the worst for me. I do not enjoy it. I get sick every time, and like I want to, like I go places, especially on the road now. Like it's just such a normal thing out of state.
Okay.
And it's just I can't. So
really?
It was a lot of drinking, like too much drinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have considered yourself an alcoholic?
No, because I knew I could stop it. I just didn't want to.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to stay in that pit.
Were the times that hard for you? Like, I mean,
like I said, it was hard. It's hard being at the time. I think I was 26.
It was like a mental thing, I guess. I mean, you're at the top of the world, and then all of a sudden everything comes crashing
Coming
down.
from where all I wanted in life was a family.
Yes.
Building that whole thing up.
Okay.
And then having to say this isn't working. Really honestly against what I wanted in life, but being like, it's either I save myself now or I'm not going to make it through this.
Okay, gotcha.
Like in a real way. And so, my son went to go stay with my parents, and that was huge because we raised him all the way up until 3 or 4, and that was super tough.
Okay.
And so, but putting him in a better position so that we could kind of both get our shit together was the smart move.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it was just doing that, losing the condo. I got in a car wreck, lost the car, living in an RV.
Wow.
It's nothing to be crazy sad about because this is just a part of life. People go through this, but being, like I said, so high up and then all of a sudden having nothing is just super frustrating.
Yeah, no, I understand. I kind of went through something a little similar a couple years ago where I gave my life up to kind of go help somebody else, which did not work. Episode 6. And so, I kind of not lost everything, but I gave everything up. So at one point you just kind of sit back and say, damn, I don't have my own house. I don't have my own nothing. You know what I mean? And when this is not going to work out because it's not going to, I have nowhere to fucking go.
Especially when you're looking around you. I don't know if you looked around you and saw your peers doing things and you were like, oh,
I mean,
I'm so far
you know
behind.
what? Okay, so yes and no, because like you were just saying, everything is situational. Everything happens for a reason. So I really feel like I was supposed to go through that. You know what I mean? At the time, I just this podcast should have been started 2 years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I put a pause on everything. I mean, I remember buying a new laptop and I was gonna go buy cameras, all that bullshit. And so I remember just putting a pause. I said, I'm gonna stop my whole life to help this person who didn't even want to help himself. And when it didn't work out, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
In a way, I mean, I ran away to New York with my friends. You know what I mean? We just went, I had no money. I had put it all on my Discover card, that poor card, just was not fucking cheap. Yeah. And we just did, and a lot of us, that's another episode that we have out with my friends. I think it's 23 or 24. They're gonna get so mad at me for forgetting. It's in the 20s. It's in the
Okay.
20s. And so
7 and 20s.
We talk about it. I'm gonna tell you because I want you to watch it. It's really good. My 3 friends. And so I just ran away, and when I got back, it was like it's time to pick shit up. Like that's it. Like, you know what I mean? And January, because we went like at the end of December, and then we did New Year's, and then I was like, okay, start plotting the public affair, or I had other names for it too, you know what I mean? And then I met Mike. Anyway, that's the whole story. So yeah, you mentioned that you have over 1,500 songs.
Yeah.
Recorded. Is that something that you would ever think about, like just putting out, just because? I mean, or do you think it's going to take you back to the dark times and you don't want to revisit?
I think this is probably a crazy statement for me to say, but I think if I dropped probably half of those, I think I would actually pop. Because they're that people could relate in a way that it's crazy. Okay. But again, I value what I have now so much more that I just truly can't. So now I'm trying to work on rewriting my story in a different way to kind of I hate to censor it. Right. Because music for me, like if I write a song, I have to live it. Right. It cannot be ghost written or I have to do that. So I don't know.
Did you write all your own music as a rapper?
Everything.
Yeah. I guess I understand what you're saying in regards to, not wanting to kind of go back to that place or whatever. But you also did just mention that somebody might actually like relate to it. You know what I mean? You know who does that? Sia.
Yeah, true. She did that, and also too, and like, we're both doing our own thing now, which is great. And I hate to even talk about it so much, but
no, it's okay, please.
My boy is a big part of it. And I don't want him growing up knowing anything that he might already, because Waco's small. My dad, having so many business stuff, I always hear Ray this, Ray that. So we used to go to your golf course, and it could be the same thing in a negative light, and he's more important than all that.
Yes and no.
Right. Okay.
Because I've done some shit in this town with people, and
right.
I'm really good at keeping secrets.
Damn. Damn.
Right. I've referenced it several times. I actually kind of went on a date, and I told the guy, I was like, "Look, you're gonna watch the show, and I do not want you judging me. Okay, right. I'm very honest. Okay, I would never say who with, but I've know some things about some pretty reputable people.
Crazy.
But I would never be the one to like expose that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
for sure.
First of all, there's nothing in it for me. I already got what I wanted out of it. Yeah. And I just, yes, this town is small, bro, but you know what? And word gets around, but I think that times are changing. People might actually like look at it at a more artistic value. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, oh, well, that was his past. You know what I mean? Like, do you really think that it would affect your family now if you put it out?
I don't know, man. Yeah. If I sent you some of the songs I have, you might not.
You might be like, send me some of the songs you have, and I was like, whoa.
Those are unreleased. Those last 3 are unreleased, and those are kind of like those are on the surface.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
I can recall when I was getting ready to put out episode 3 of this show. And I remember having the biggest anxiety attack because I think that was my first episode where we told the most crude jokes, shit that you cannot joke about. And I just knew I was going to be canceled after that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, yeah.
I just knew. And now we're on, I think this is the 80th or something episode. Okay. You just have to go with like, you got to do you. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
They might surface someday. But like I said, right now, motion theory is just kind of a thing. So.
Yeah, I'm so down with that. Real quick, I know back in the day this was kind of a thing, and maybe to this day it still is, but I always was wondering too, because you are a rapper. Did you ever have any pushback about being like a white rapper?
Not really. I was pretty accepted pretty quick. Okay. I mean, there was times where I don't know how much I could say.
No, you can say whatever you want. We don't have rules on this show.
I know, but there's rules out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
There's no rules when you watch it. Everybody knows what's popping, all right?
Yeah, no.
If they have an issue, they can contact management on my Facebook page.
I got you. Okay, so, yeah, man, I was always pretty accepted when I make music.
That's good. That's good.
There was a Snow Gang was around, and they had like a little studio over there in Waco, and Chris Parr and all them were over there, and I'd go over there and I helped hook up some of their stuff, and then I was gonna get on some stuff, but like it just like I got so into doing my own thing, I just never really stuck with that. And then I think you want me to be honest with you, the last time I really quit music, I was you've had Timo on the show.
I love Timo.
Okay,
he was my first episode ever.
Yeah, so he hit me up and was like, "Hey, you should come to this place called Proper and make some music." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure."
That's like a label, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So it's these people over there doing it, and I was like, "Yeah," because he was already like he was getting on games and background of movies. Like that would be so cool, man. So
Mortal Kombat, hello.
Yeah, that's badass. So first guest. I want in on that for sure. Like I appreciated the invite, so I pulled up and we started working, making music, and I had made this song called Winter. And it's out on YouTube and all that, and if you can even find it. Yeah. And the guy that was running that whole proper place was like, you know, you need to wait before you drop the music video you just shot to. I shot my own videos and stuff. He was like, you need to wait before you put that out so I can drop this on Spotify. And back then, before CD Baby and DistroKid, no one knew how to get their stuff on there. And so, at least not me. And so I was thinking that you had to have this guy to do it, especially in our area. And at the time, me and Mo were running parallel. So Mo would get like, a song and a song and a song, and I was like, well, damn, he ain't dropping none of my shit. What the hell? Like, drop something.
That's the music business,
right? So,
it is,
but I was like, you know, Mo's doing this, and I'm kind of on this sound. So, like, what's the issue? So, one day it was really no problem. I just dropped the music video.
Right.
And the next day, I was still working at LMR, and I got on my Spotify account. All my listeners were gone. My photo was turned into a picture of a clown. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I went on to expose some stuff, and then that dude blamed Mo, and then I called Mo, and Mo was like, it wasn't me, blamed him, and so I was like, you know what, I'm out.
But for the record, you and Timo have a really good relationship.
We don't talk anymore, but I have no beef with him.
Oh, good. Yeah, because he's really kind. I really like him.
He is.
I mean, I hate to hear that happened to you.
No, and I'm sure, sorry about that. I'm sure if you were to ask him, he'd be like, who cares? And who does, really? But yeah, that was a crazy...
water under the bridge, probably. I mean, that was a long time ago, right?
I did put out a song, and that was kind of rough, but I was just mad at the world, so
no, I got you.
Whatever.
You know what? It's so weird to talk about that too. I mean, I've had several musicians on the show, rappers, and I've had the Spanish singer and everything, and you get to learn a lot about the music business. Like just doing my research. I mean, even the high profile stars right now. You know what I mean? The ones that get pushed to the top and the ones that kind of get shunned. I am friends with a girl on Instagram. She had a song on the Happy Feet. She's a singer. She had a song on the Happy Feet soundtrack. She was on her way up. She was signed to Atlantic Records. Her name is Gia Farrell. If she ever watches this, she has a song called Hit Me Up. You easily look it up on Apple Music everywhere. Has a music video, everything. Fucking girl can sing. Listen to her song, You'll Be Sorry on YouTube. I got to post it. Anyway, we talked about it briefly. If she was here, she would have had an episode on the show. And she was just like, yeah, the record label, not to say that this is what happened to you, everything's alleged. But I know that her particular record label, was telling her, oh, you got to lose weight. You got to do this. You got to look like this. And she's like, kind of your size. You know what I mean? Just like
that's weird.
And she was like, yeah, they just treated me like dog shit, and then they didn't put out my album, and it makes you wonder why. Like, what is the politic behind it? Because she could fucking sing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't really know at the time. I took it seriously at the time. Looking back on it, it probably wasn't. It probably wasn't anything. They were just so focused on Timo at the time because he was the one that was making the money, dropping all these different things.
And you know what? Like maybe because I think are they an independent? They're like an independent record label.
To be honest, I have no idea.
Okay. So if I think of it from like this side, maybe if I started my own independent record label, right, and then I have one artist that is popping, maybe your natural instinct is to focus completely on that person. You know what I mean?
Thought that just to counter, I thought that, and then when I got on, when I figured out about DistroKid. You could literally get on, post a song, next day it's there. Maybe 3. Right. So there was no excuse that they weren't going on. He just wasn't pushing it. Okay. And maybe we should have probably talked about why. Right. But the next day when I dropped the video, for it to just be wiped, I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm out on music. Okay, yeah. Because I really only made it for me and just to go through it. And Xavier, I send stuff to X all the time. Yeah. He's like, why are you not fully doing this? And it was just to get it out.
Maybe it was just a bad business partnership, and maybe it's something that you can because you are very talented. I don't think that you should let that go to waste. Yeah, no. And we have amongst a lot of talent that we have in this town, you know what I mean? Like including Timo, who I fucking love. I love that guy. And so maybe I don't know. I can't really speak on the situation because I don't know anybody really at that label. I don't know the guy who runs it or anything.
And again, that's so long ago. Like I think that's probably 5-6 years ago now. Yeah. So it's water under the bridge. And shout out to Timo and shout out to everyone over on that side. For sure. Getting it done over there for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, well, hopefully that you'll find the courage to kind of re-enter it. And you know, you have your own equipment, you said. You know
I got
what I mean?
everything.
So you can pretty much kind of do your own shit. Maybe you can start your own label. Right? Man. And then I'll come on there. I've been dying to be in a rap music video.
Are you trying to hop on a song?
I can't sing, but if you can fuck my vocals with some shit, then yes.
I could.
We can?
Yeah.
Because I'll shoot a badass music video for you. I just can't sing. I can look sexy as fuck. You know what I mean? I just can't sing. Yeah. Okay. I definitely want to talk to you about motion theory because that's more what you're focused on now. You just mentioned to me when we were at our event, which was a crazy event, and I absolutely loved. And I really want to take the time to shout out DJ Drew, Amplified Entertainment. He asked me to host that event with him, which I was more than honored because we worked on the radio together back in the day. When I first started, he was there.
Drew was?
Yeah.
Oh, he's my guy.
He was a board op And
okay.
I was interning, and then I got my night show, and then I don't know the politic or the situation or whatever the case was, but he was supposed to run the night show with me, and he was going to be the DJ. Anyway, needless to say, neither of our radio careers worked out. Now, but that was cool about hosting that event with him was because 6
great
years
turnout,
later,
by the way.
right? It was thank you to everybody who came. It was so great,
6 years later,
and all the sponsors that donated prizes and everything, and it was so great. And 6 years later, you know, since we didn't get to work with each other on the radio due to whatever politics were going on, you know, for us to do it in our own endeavors, like me representing the public affair, him representing Amplify, that was such a dream. Like that was awesome. And I, you know, anyway, I loved it. Okay, motion theory. That's what you're focused on right now. So do you shoot music videos for other people, or is it mainly pictures? Talk to us a little bit about what that is.
Photos, I do photos, but I specialize in videos. Videos is what I have put my all into as far as, you know, sound, shooting and lighting and the whole package. But I will say with music, you can kind of do it on your own. You can kind of record it, promote it, push it, especially now. Right. With video, it really is more of a team thing. Can I go out there and make something look really cool on my own? Yes. But if you involve yourself with people, it's a lot better. Because like if you take somebody that's like right now, you're doing this podcast, you're very good at talking and keeping topics going, right? But you don't want to focus on all of this. You need to come in and just do this thing. So it helps when you're not doing 100 things. But video is my primary focus. I specialize a lot in like live shows. So a lot of the times I get hired is for like, hey, I'm playing at Bonita Creek out here, or I'm playing at Backyard, or we're out in Dallas, or you know, stuff like that. So music, like people playing music is my bread and butter, I would say. But I shoot commercials as well. I work with some agencies, reach out and they'll, hey, can you shoot a commercial for us and cut some stuff? So yeah. You and I have got to work together because I was even telling I haven't told you guys just yet, but Mike, I'm tired of my intro. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? I need like a what you call it, like a video type you know, with the smoke. I have ideas and we need to work together. Okay, we do for sure. You know, that's gonna be cool. You mentioned that you just came back from tour. Yeah. So you're touring with artists. Yes. How did that happen? So man, before this big last tour I went on, Trent, my homie from 613, he's deep out in Fort Worth. He's just got so many connections. So we were doing festivals.
Can he find me a man?
Like crazy. What's up?
Can he find me a man?
Oh, I'm sure. That man knows everybody.
I'm talking to somebody right now. It's great. I love him. I like him a lot.
I feel like I'm caught in between two worlds right now.
No, it's cool.
So he got me on doing a bunch of bigger stuff as far as festivals. And then he's so gracious to like put me in and like we'll do bigger artists together. But Huser Brothers, they're actually from Waco. They're country singers. And they're badass. They're two brothers. They obviously have crazy harmonies. And so when I first started filming, my homie Travis he was working with this guy at Bosqueville School. Where they invite the artists to come play Backyard to come play for the kids at Bosqueville School.
For sure.
And so I saw the Huser Brothers that day. This was before motion theory was even a thing. I was just kind of filming for fun, and I filmed them, and we kind of hit it off. And so I've kind of been their videographer throughout all the years. And then you know. It's gotten bigger and better and bigger and better, and then finally they were like, we're going on tour with Co Wetzel, who just signed I believe it's Post Malone's label.
So he's the country singer. Yeah, I've heard of him.
And after hanging out with him, that dude is like super genuine.
Is he really?
Like crazy. Yeah, his whole camp is badass.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people hate to see it, but you can't deny a good camp, man. They're just good people.
Do you know? Have you met Frankie J just yet?
Not yet.
Fucking Christ!
I don't doubt that I wouldn't, man.
Bro, when you meet him, you say, "Listen, I was on this podcast called."
Gotta come to this podcast.
Andrew said he will pay for you. He will fly you out here. He'll get you hotel, board, everything.
For sure.
And I need him on this
I heard
show.
you talking about that before.
Bro,
so
I love
if I ever get in his presence, I got you.
I love Frankie J. He's my favorite singer in the whole world. Man. And the minute I have him, listen, winning the award was cool, right? But the minute I have Frankie J on this podcast.
What were some songs he sung?
Excuse me. That was
I just want to make sure I got the right guy in my head. Yeah, okay, so
Sugar.
Bro,
yes.
How you get so fly? Yeah, okay, so I used to have those on a tape that I recorded off the radio, and I would run that shit back,
I remember having my brother steal me the CD.
Yeah, man.
The one from Walmart. Then he got arrested because I wanted the actual, you know, the case. That was horrible. Sorry, I confess that. And so we were 12, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, it's good music.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy. And I like I said, I feel like winning the award, that was a really great achievement. But the minute I can interview Frankie J,
that'd be bad.
I'm sorry, you guys are gonna have to pick my fruit out. I said it. There you go. Okay. I am gonna walk around naked. I'm just do so many things. I'm gonna act like I'm untouchable.
While Frankie J's here?
No.
Okay,
he's in California. Which, you know, there are other artists that I'm actually like have reached out to and we've talked about it. It's just I really like live. You know what I mean? I want you here. I want you in the flesh. You know what I mean? Okay, so Cole Wetzel, so you got to go on tour with him.
Yeah, so we went on tour with Cole Wetzel, and you know, like I said, I've toured around with other artists, right? And the green rooms when you're with someone like Cole are crazy. One green room, which is, I don't know if you know, it's like where they like the band comes in, they can shower in the green room, hang out. It's like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay, that's the green room.
I don't know what that's like.
Okay, so the green room, all the green rooms we go to are just normal. You know, they're just shower and here's a bucket of beer and that's what y'all get for your ride or whatever.
Okay.
Cole's thing, there was like a whole wall of Nerf guns at this place in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And you got to choose whatever Nerf guns you want. And there was basketball in there and they catered and it was wild.
Okay.
Every place we went to was just wow.
Just
like,
wow.
It was so, and the people that had played, like they had showed some like Mac Miller, like we were at the Fillmore.
Okay.
So like Mac Miller had played there and their hands on the wall. And it was just crazy to be back in these places that these kind of artists had been. That was just wild.
Do you think that you a high achievement in your career when you get to go on tour with somebody like that?
Yeah. I mean, everything to me is a win.
Okay.
Because, you know, I get to do this. I don't have a 9 to 5. So this is,
right.
You know, I got to say this. I saw a TikTok the other day. It was like, I quit my 9 to 5 because I was tired of working so hard. And then now, or something like that. And then now I don't stop working.
Right.
And so when I started this, it's like I have no nights off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what the height would be yet. Every year has been my height.
Right.
You know, my height. It's been like, this would be my, I would say. I'm beating around it, but yeah, I would say that was.
No, I think that's fair to say, because I think that when I got Frankie J, I'm like, I can interview the president, I can interview the #1 top Billboard artist, but I want Frankie J. But the minute I can get Frankie J, that's my career height right here. Okay?
Once you hit that height, you'll have another artist height. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Yeah, then it'll just snowball from there.
For sure.
You know, you mentioned about the tour life and stuff. Surely it's crazy and everything.
It is.
I've watched Rock of Love Tour Bus, and which I love. You know, season 3. So you know, is it how they portray it on TV? Is that how it really is?
Some bands are like that. There's tour buses are crazy, and like, you got to think too. When I was first started filming, I was really predominantly riding in vans, and it still happens sometimes. Which is it's a part of the grind for some of these guys. You know, to ride in a van, but being able to get on these buses is crazy. You know, they got PlayStation, Xbox. Okay. You know, the coolers are loaded down.
Right.
There's smoke on the bus. You know, there's some other stuff on the bus I won't talk about.
I can't talk about. Okay, yeah. Don't be trying to get me sued. All right.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So some of those buses are wild, but predominantly, I mean, it's kind of just when you get out there, it's not crazy because it's normal. You're just living that. So it's like, you know,
so
really,
it just becomes the norm.
Yeah, I haven't seen nothing like that I was like, I got to get out of here.
Okay, got you.
Not yet.
Right,
Not
yeah.
yet. So.
And then you might have mentioned this before, but like, I mean, what was like the level of excitement for you when they tell you, hey, how do you even get booked to do something like that? You know what I mean?
Word of mouth right now, which is crazy. But when they're like, you know, the Hughes brothers, those are my guys. So when they were like, we're going on tour with Cole Wetzel, obviously I'm a shoo-in for that.
Can you come?
So, yeah, can you come knock this out?
And then are you just doing like videos for him? Like, are you like?
Yeah, so like recaps. If you were to go on YouTube, or I'll send you some links later just to show you what I'm talking about. But if you go on there, it'll just be a recap of like Louisiana, College Station, you know, Nashville. It'll be a recap of everywhere that we went, and it's a hype video. So when you watch it, you're like, damn, they look live, and like I got to go see that.
Okay,
that's kind of my job is to make, and a lot of these bands are lit. It's not like I have to make them lit, but it's you want to sell them a show, so when the consumer watches, they're like, oh, we got to go get tickets to that. Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, it's so cute. When I was at the Frankie J concert in Kyle, I keep plugging this because hopefully somebody will just like tag him. But whoever his person was, I guess the camera or whatever, like, you know, they take the shot of, okay, not to be like the venue in Kyle was small. Like, I bet there was about 50 of us, but the camera guy made it look like there was thousands of us. That's part of it. Which is crazy to me. You know, I'm not like, you know, I'm sure Frankie J gets big crowd, for sure. Kyle's a small town. Yeah. Anyway, and so it's so cute because, you know, I'm there because my fucking sign, I was the only one that made a sign, and I was like, there I am right there, you know, and I got my picture. I told everybody I was gonna do that shit,
and that's a big part of it, putting the audience in it. You'd be surprised how many will find you and be like, yo, I was right there. I was gonna say, like, how do you do something like that? Like, how do you make it look like that? You know what I mean? That's
just
where
edit like digital people in there? Or?
No. when there's a small crowd, you want to shoot from behind their heads and kind of silhouette them. So that you can do it multiple times, so you can't tell it's the same person. You keep shooting around, and you kind of shoot angles.
It's a secret.
And then you know, you could always film like feet moving or dancing, or sometimes I film bars where they're not even interested in the act; they're over here drinking. So we just go over here and film some people, and bring it back on this side.
That is so cool. I'd love to spend an evening with you at work, not with you, just at work, because
I get hired at Backyard all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah,
okay. You know, I interviewed those guys on my show.
Oh, did you really?
I did. Yes, I did.
I need to watch that.
Yes, I did. Who all came? It was Chris.
Okay, bet, man.
Russ.
Okay, yeah. Damn, I gotta watch that. Chris,
yeah,
Chris,
and I interviewed the bartender April. She was on here.
Very cool.
Listen,
very cool.
I've gone around in this town, all right? Not like that.
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm lacking over here. I've been busy, man.
No,
I feel bad.
You know, we were just talking about that too. Don't you feel like when I was talking to my friend, I had a breakdown the other day because of how busy I've been, like with just like.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? I
that.
just had a fucking breakdown, and I feel like you have to. And you know, then I won the award 2 days later, so I was like, oh, it's all worth it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Highs and lows.
How do you find the time to just? Because you know what? Who did I just have on this show that said they turned their phone? Misa the barber. I just had him on this show, and he said on Sundays he turns his phone off silent. He doesn't want anybody bothering him that day. It's for him and his daughter. I also had the Stones, you know, Brandon Stone. Brandon, oh my God, that's not his name. Brill Stone. Yeah, Brill Stone and his wife Brianna. I don't know why I said Brandon. But they said the same thing, like once a month or something, they turn their phone off and they don't want anybody bothering them. I feel like I'm going to start practicing that because I feel like that's important for your mental health. You know what I mean?
I can't.
You cannot. Okay,
it's part of my, like, that's the thing I'm struggling with right now is I'm making great money. Okay. And now it's the time to be like, that's enough. This is a weird thing, but you get to a point in your bank account where you're like, you know, if you have, this is crazy. I remember having like 250 in my bank account and being like, let's go out.
Right.
Like I got a ton of money.
Oh, and now it's like,
now I have way more than that. And I'm like, I don't want to spend none of that.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm stuck in this work mode where I'm like constantly, like, I got to book something or I'm not going to make it next month, even though I have good stuff going on. It's like, I'm so worried constantly. And so on my phone, I'm liking, I'm networking, I'm sharing. Hey man, good to see you at that festival. I'm tagging. If I film an artist and there's another artist that opens and I don't work for them, I'm taking pictures of them and sending it to them and saying, hey man, like, awesome show. Right. Driving their traffic back to my page, and they're being like, "Yo, you want to come work?" And
I hope y'all are taking fucking notes.
Or don't.
No, I don't think a lot of people, like, I don't know the first thing about running a business. You know what I mean? But
I didn't either.
I do this. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people see what goes on, like, behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like the shit that we have to go through mentally. Like, it's hard. Like, listen, for 80 weeks we've not missed a Monday.
Yeah, every time outside, that's crazy.
Yeah, for 80 weeks we've not, and that's hard because, you know, the one thing my producer Mike told me when I first started was like, if you miss 2 weeks, they're gonna forget about you.
Yeah, you gotta be
like
consistent.
My biggest fear.
Gotta be consistent.
So like, there's a pressure. I was telling my friend too. There's a pressure in staying consistent and, you know, making sure that there's content for the viewers, for everybody who wanted to see you on here, or the last person or whatever. You know what I mean? And so I just want to make sure I do a good job at that. Do you know what I mean?
That's good insight. I see where you're coming from. I didn't think about like your next. Who's gonna be my next guy? Well, you know.
Right. Well, we're doing this, and I already have my next 2 people booked. You know what I mean? So it's like, why
stress? You just do.
You know, but it's a good. I'd rather stress about the success of this than stress at some 9 to 5.
Right.
Which I love my 9 to 5. I have a 9 to 5, or 8 to 5, I should say. but you know, it's a great job and everything. But I feel like the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into your own endeavor is different than what you put into, you know, at somebody else's.
My downtime, I guess, would be I still like to actually work, which is weird. Okay. But like, there's a guy named Taylor Branch. He's Taylor Branch and Lone Star Ramblers. They're a band in Gatesville. Right. Every time I'm like, hey, you got free time to come film. He's got this look, man. He's kind of like me. He's got jean jackets, bandanas, old shoes, smoked cigarettes, long hair. I love shooting like little shorts with him. So he does like acoustic songs and stuff. Okay. When I can get out and shoot like some passion projects, that's my downtime.
What's the passion project?
That would be like, instead of, I'm not getting paid for it.
Oh, okay. Just okay.
I just want to, I'm like, hey, you got a motorcycle. Let's film something. I need to try some stuff.
Would you ever shoot a porn?
Man, it depends.
Like what?
I actually don't know the criteria.
You know how
for
much
that.
money I tried to convince one of my friends.
So I don't know if he'd want me saying this.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, my homie Grant from when he was working for this person. Okay. And that's what they did. And he would send me snaps, and I was like, that is crazy. Like, they'd rent out mansions at pools, and they'd shoot porn out there.
Do you know how much money you can make if you shoot gay porn?
Man.
The gays are all, like, I'm subscribed to like 2 people's OnlyFans, okay?
So gay porn pays more than straight porn.
From what I understand. I tried to convince one of my friends, but he didn't do it.
To convince what? To shoot it or to be in it?
I told him, you don't have to do nothing with guys, but like, create content made for gay people and they'll pay for it. And you will fucking never have to work a day in your life. All you have to do is show your schlong for 5 minutes and that's it.
I'll tell you that. I could make it look good. Yeah. I'll tell you that much.
I wonder, like, listen, if times were tough, I'm not going to, I had Isabel Garcia on the show. Yeah. I fucking love, and she is shameless. I love it. And I have a different respect for those kind of people because they are like, that takes a lot of confidence.
It does. I couldn't do it.
But no, you know what? If times were tough and I didn't have this anymore and I didn't have a job,
you go for it.
If I had to flick my bean on camera,
would you get an award again?
Hell yeah.
Best actor?
Yes.
You wouldn't be acting though. You'd probably be like,
I'd be real.
It has to be real for
amateur.
Oh my God.
Trevor, you know what? We're running out of time here, so we do have to wrap up. But I just want to know what's next for you, man. I mean, Motion Theory Media, it looks like it's taking off. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I have to say, I'm so happy that you took the time.
Thank you for having me.
I think that, that you said you were free this whole week. I think that was meant to be.
Yes.
For sure. So I think the timing was just perfect. I tell out to everybody, there's people waiting for their invite, and I said timing. So what's next for you, man? I mean, do you have any more tours coming up or anything?
Yeah, we got a lot of, I just shot a music video for Sam Riggs with Trent. We shot in Moab, Utah, and we got out there and I was like, I'm really, my eyes now on, I'm making good money doing the live shows and the commercials. I want bigger production. So I want to network with more videographers that have like a lighting crew, and I want to put together music videos like you would see on TV. I want a set. I want a color coordinator. I want all the things.
Okay, gotcha.
So my thing for 2022 is to just go in and try to build a or be a part of this side and learn it.
Just make sure the day that you're on tour with Frankie J or any big pop act, you show them this episode of The Public Affair. You say, look at this guy.
You need to have him cut every time you've ever said Frankie J and make a compilation and then put that out.
Oh, I think not every episode, but the majority of episodes.
Because like your clothes would say Frankie J, Frankie J, Frankie J, Frankie J.
You know what I'm going to start? I'm going to Desperate Measures. I'm going to order his whole clothing brand, and I'm going to just wear it on the show until he fucking sees. Okay.
I hope he sees it.
Soul Sick Clothing. Okay. You know what, man? Thank you again so much for coming onto the show. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so we do have to wrap up. Did you get to touch on everything? Is there anything else that you want to? Can we follow Motion Theory Media?
Yeah. Motion Theory Media, Facebook, Instagram. That's really, and I have a Twitter, but Twitter, man, it's crazy. I hate Twitter.
I don't have a Twitter.
It's so hard to me. I don't know if it's like being 30 or what, but it's so hard. I don't get it.
I don't even have a TikTok.
Oh, well, I'm on TikTok.
You are on TikTok. Okay, I don't have.
A lot of my artists are doing that now, so it's kind of like a thing. I gotta be on there.
I'm on Snapchat. I don't have a premium just yet. Facebook and Instagram. That's
cool. Yeah, you can follow me on there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Trevor, Evo, thank you so much again for coming on to this episode. Best of luck to everything. Again, thank you so for making time to even come on my show. It's truly a pleasure. Very talented. When you get ready to get back into the music thing, let me know.
Okay, yeah, I got you. For sure.
I'm ready for that. I need that emotional album from you.
I got you.
I need that.
I'm working on one right now, so I'll send it. They'll be the first. I'll send it to you.
You know what? Just real quick, because you said you can make me sound good. I would love a little 6-song EP. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get it.
Just to say I did it.
Yeah,
I can't sing for shit. I'm letting you know right now.
No, I got you.
But if you can make me
you can probably stay in your range. You don't even know it.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. We will see. Definitely will. Thank you guys again so much for watching this episode of The Public Affair. Before we go, I definitely want to give a shout out to a few more of our sponsors. This episode is also brought to you by Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skill training. They also specialize in soccer training with Dominic. I see him out there training your children to become the next soccer star. I know they have the camps when your kids are not in school, when you guys enroll them. They have everything. They're giving back to the community, and I love it. Soko Soccer Academy. Thank you so much. Make sure you follow them on Facebook at Soko Soccer Academy and on Instagram at Soko Soccer 254. Thank you guys for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Jeffrey Monreal with Boyo Box and Audio, home for all your LED needs and auto accessories. He also focuses on installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He's pimped my fucking ride.
That's badass.
Love it. Oh, it's so great.
I used to do that for a living, so
I
get
did you?
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why I haven't even bought a new car. It needs a paint job, but
it's worth it.
He's about to wrap it.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, dope.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and more. Definitely a jack of all trade, your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. Jeffrey, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Truly appreciate you, bro. And of course, I can't go on. I just had it today. Fat Boy Michelada and Botana with my boy Junior Banda. He provides the best Michelada and Botana plates for yourself or for a party, locally operated. So make sure you get the best and not the rest. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at Fat Boy Michelada y Botana to see their menu and array of items that they have. He's always creating new things, and I love it. I got to roll around in a Botana tray today, and it was delicious. Fat Boy Michelada and Botana. I'm going to get you one.
Okay.
Take it on the road.
All right.
And tell everybody where you got it from.
I will.
Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Again, to everybody, thank you guys so much. I have more of The Public Affair coming on the way. Thank you guys again so much for voting for me for Podcast of the Year.
Congrats again,
I really appreciate
really cool.
that. Thank you guys so much. And for all the love and support, I could write it in the sky and I can have Jesus himself come down and tell you guys how much I appreciate it. And it still wouldn't mean how much it means. Anyway, you get what I'm saying.
Got you.
All right. And don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.